Hello everybody, the Money Man is back. I am alive and kicking. I must apologise guys, I've been really low on the content recently, but my personal life has been a little bit hectic because I got married. So yeah, I've been crazy busy recently, but things are just starting to settle down and I've had some time to actually make a few videos for you guys. So there will be content coming up over the next few weeks. So, as you probably know, we've just passed Chinese New Year, 新年快乐. Now, I thought, as we've entered the year of the pig, I'd do a video on the new Hong Kong dollars which have recently come out. And we're just going to have a look at the designs of the new 1,000 and 500 Hong Kong dollar notes. They're the only ones that have been issued. The 100, the 50 and the 20 Hong Kong dollar notes have not yet been issued. They'll probably come out somewhere around the end of 2019 to early 2020. So we've only got the 1,000 and the 500, but of course we've got 3 issuing banks in Hong Kong, so that means we've got a total of 6 notes to show you today. And what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a compare and contrast between the new notes and the old notes. So let's dive straight into it with the 1,000 Hong Kong dollar notes. The first one is from Hsbc. So here we go. So this is the new design. These were released in December and pretty much sticking with the same colour scheme that the 1,000 Hong Kong dollar has had for quite some time. You can see we've got the HSBC line on the front, and there's lots of added security features in this. We've got a sort of like a little reflective hologram 1,000 here, and each different denomination will have a different image on, I believe. But you'll see that actually the 1,000 has the same image for each of the 3 banks. You'll know what I mean when I show you in a minute. You can see we've got the braille down at the bottom for the visually impaired, which I think is a fantastic feature. And if I turn it up, you can actually see that we've got the imprint and the watermark right here with the 1,000 in the back. So if we spin it around, there's not much to say really, other than that they are vertical on the reverse now. So if I hold it like that, you can probably see a little bit better. But we've just basically got an image of Hong Kong Island and the Kowloon Peninsula. So that's all it is. There's not really that much to say. I don't mind this note. I think it's quite nice. Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. So the next one is Standard Chartered Bank, and here it is. So again, you can see that there's a sort of a continuity in the layout and design of the different banks' versions of the notes. But again, you've got Standard Chartered Bank in the middle here, and you can see the same features, the flower, and you've got the security security strip down the middle, and you've got the little watermark there. If we spin it around again, now this one's slightly different. We've got a depiction of Hong Kong Island here, which you can see from the waterside. And the zeros and ones are supposed to represent, Hong Kong's aspirations to be, a world leader in the digital economy, basically. And it's celebrating the sort of innovation and technological development of, of Hong Kong society. That's what that's about. So yeah, so that's the Standard Chartered. And then if we have a look at the next one, which is the Bank of China, which is probably, I would say, my most favourite. If we look at the front, I quite like it. But again, you can see there's not much to say because the design and layout is pretty much identical. If we spin it around, now again we've got the same thing, but again, zeros and ones supposed to pretty much represent the brain power of Hong Kong, the intelligent minds that are driving the city forward, that kind of thing, and celebrate its sort of tertiary technological industry. So yeah, so pretty similar to the Standard Chartered one in theory. So yeah, so those are the thousands. Now, a lot of people don't really like these designs. I don't mind the $1,000 bills. I like the color scheme. I think the reverse designs are a bit boring, especially compared to some of the older generation banknotes. I mean, if we compare it to if we put the old HSBC note up. So here's an old 1,000 HSBC note, and you can see, just as a comparison, for me, I prefer the old one. I really do. And if we spin it around and look at the back, you've got a beautiful depiction of the Dragon Boat Festival, which is a public holiday here in Hong Kong. and a part of Hong Kong's rich heritage. So for me, I really prefer this banknote, and the previous series of banknotes they're much nicer than the new ones, unfortunately. But hey ho, you can't have everything. So let's have a look at the 500 Hong Kong dollar notes, and it starts to go downhill from here, and I think you will see why. So again, let's look at them in the same order. So that means we've got to do HSBC first. So here's the HSBC 500, and you can see we've got a different logo design, but again, you will see this in all the 500 Hong Kong dollar bills. And again, we've got the braille for the visually impaired, we've got the security strip, and we've got our watermark, and there are loads of sort of UV security features that unfortunately I can't show you, but if you put one of these under UV light, you will actually see them all. And if we turn around and look at the back, yeah, basically we've just got a sort of an iconic area of Hong Kong that's very popular for hiking, hexagonal rock formations, or columns as they're known. And yeah, it's supposed to celebrate Hong Kong's landscape, which is actually fantastic. Whenever I can, I go out and hike, and I'm telling you, Hong Kong is an absolutely fantastic place to go hiking. You know, you can go just 30 minutes out of the city, and you're in jungle, basically. It really is incredible. So I think it's a good choice, in theory, to celebrate that. But the design, for me, it's a no. I really don't care for these banknotes. The 500s are a massive disappointment. Yeah, and you'll see why in a minute. Now, let's keep going on to the Standard Chartered. I'll show you that one. And again, I've never been too fond of this sort of like browny, beigey colour. I just don't think it's very appealing at all. Actually, this one has got a slight bit of damage, so I'll have to swap that out, as it's not in true uncirculated condition, but never mind. Nice serial number, but hey. And then if we have a look, you can see we've got the logo again and the security strip. We spin it around and we've got pretty much the same thing. Now, in the past, all three banks have had quite uniquely different designs on the reverse. And you'll get an idea of that in a moment when I show you some of the old $500 bills. But yeah, they've kind of stuck with the same theme on each of the three banks. Different versions of the same note, and I think that's a bit disappointing. So, if we have a look at the next one, we've got Bank of China. Really don't care for this banknote either. I don't like the colour scheme. That's what really does it for me. I just don't care for it. And this one has been attacked relentlessly by cynics online. I don't want to get too political, but you know, a lot of people are not really happy with the direction that Hong Kong is going in. Not everybody, but some people, some Hong Kongers are a bit unhappy about the direction that Hong Kong is going in now, ever since the handover in 1997. And some people have joked that this is sort of a vision of Hong Kong sinking into the sea. Yeah, I gotta say, it's not a great design. It's boring. The colour scheme is not great. I don't really know what this is supposed to represent. So it's a real disappointment, and yeah. And if I show you some of the older notes, you'll start to see why. So let's do a comparison. We'll get HSBC up. So we've got the new one, and then we've got the old one. And you can see, sorry, I'm not doing a great job of this, but you can see much more interesting design. If I spin this around, look at the back. You know, we've got Lunar New Year with the lion dance, and it screams culture and heritage. Again, the colour scheme is not great, but it is a little bit bolder. There's some darker colours here that give it a bit more contrast, and it just makes it more interesting to look at. It feels more like a Hong Kong banknote, whereas this one, it just feels soulless to me. I don't know. I really can't get into these new banknotes. Which is a real shame for me, because I'm very passionate about currency collecting. And the Standard Chartered one is even more striking in its difference or its discrepancy. I mean, look at that. This banknote is part of the Mythical Creatures series, which is one of the best set of banknotes I've ever seen. And highly collectible, very beautiful. And look what they've gone to. They've gone from this to this. What's happened? What has happened? I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it. So yeah, for me the 500s are a massive, massive disappointment. I mean, even that, I mean, it's not fantastic on the reverse, but it's still way more interesting, but the front is just magical. So yeah. So yeah, not one of my most optimistic videos. We'll have to wait and see what the hundreds, the 50s and the 20s look like, but so far, if the 500 is anything to go by, it's downhill from here. So yeah, not one of my usual bubbly, sort of enthusiastic videos. I'm sorry about that, guys, but please let me know what you think. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you think these banknotes look great, if you think they're interesting and you're excited to get hold of them, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think as well, because it's not just about what I think, it's about what the general community of collecting feels. So yeah, if you want to have a nice up close look at any of the banknotes featured in this video, go down into the description and follow the link to my Facebook page, and you can see everything that I've shown you here today. That's the Money Man signing out for now. Bye bye.